Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are here with my friend Alberto's 2019 Honda Civic Type R. This is the FK8, and we have something pretty cool coming. So we're going to jump to the front of this car and show you what we got going on today. So this right here is his FK8 Type R. Some of the cool things that he has done to it so far is obviously just some small things. He's gotten it tinted. We got the rain guards. We got some TE37s down here. It does have an NVIDIA exhaust. We did do the Acudi short throw shifter in here as well. Beautiful, beautiful car. And right now we got something pretty cool going on, and it is under the hood. Very simple project, but something that will definitely change the game on this car. Alberto has just picked up a Eventuri cold air intake setup. It is insane. Currently, he is running just an aftermarket K&N air filter in the factory box, I believe. So it's going to be pretty sick to see the new setup. I'm excited for y'all to see this thing. The car is also on tine lowering springs. I forgot to mention that. So it does have a little bit lower stance, and it does also have that Honda ECU. So that's going to be pretty cool. We don't have to tell the computer anything with this whole air box, but I'll show you the stock box before we show you guys the pretty sick one we have sitting right next to me. So really quickly, guys, I'm going to give you a quick startup / rev clip. I think the car will only rev to like 3K RPMs. All right, give me one more big one. Oh yeah, one more just like that. That's perfect. So that is the before. That's what it sounds like with the basically stock air intake with the, just a K&N filter. So I'm excited for you guys to see the after, but we're gonna crack into this now and install this beautiful Eventuri cold air intake box with the carbon fiber. I mean, this thing is going to be sick. Now I'm going to show you guys how we do it. So we're down here now looking at the box, and honestly, first step, pretty simple, is we're gonna go over what parts and pieces we're going to be changing out so we know what to take off. I'm sure we're going to be reusing things like our mass airflow sensor. So this is just 2 Phillips head screws. It'll pop right off. You got your harness that runs down the side. And then right here, we got these 2 hoses that we're going to have to undo and plug into this pipe. I'm sure we have all the additional hardware we'll need. But something kind of interesting is, like, this hose clamp doesn't really have a way for you to take it off. And maybe we grab by the other side. Maybe you cut it. I'm not too sure just yet. But over here, they give you, obviously, a, nice little hose clamp with some hardware that you can actually pull this thing off. So, I think we're probably going to start here and figure out what it's going to take to get this hose clamp off. Try is just drilling this out. I tried to use the pliers, and it's just not grabbing. So I'm going to take a drill bit, kind of work through it, and get the head off that rivet. So honestly, just kind of messing with my drill bit, kind of working it through here. We're thinking that it's loose enough now where once we pull this pipe off, we'll just be able to pull it right off without any issues. And thankfully, like I said, this comes with more sensible hardware that just makes it easier to assemble. So right here, this is a 5.5 millimeter socket, and that's what we're going to use to take off all these hose clamps.
This is loose, so we had to use, just so for the record, a socket here and a wrench for the back one, if that matters.
Okay, and they were 10 millimeters.
Free. And once we could just take the box out, we just take it out of the unit, bro.
Yeah, and then it's so plug and play with the other box. All right, cool. That pulled out. Now we just got to yank that one off. So we got some hardware there. We basically just bolt this to this fitting, and now this fitting will fit right into that hole perfectly. So that works out great. Removing the first 2 10 millimeter bolts right on the radiator support. Sick. Easy. Let's see it. Woo! And now it's just the box, which looks to be like a 10 millimeter down there, maybe. And there was one up here that we had already removed. I think that's it. I mean, this box is ready to come off. And basically, all to take this off, like you saw, is we just removed these 2 bolts that were sitting in the radiator support, and then there's 2 little plastic tabs that sit at the bottom, right there and there. And this little air scoop comes right off. Coming out. This is the K&N air filter there that goes right in the stock box. And there is one more bolt somewhere, I guess is all I can say. We got all this loose, but it seems to be in the front possibly. No, it's yeah, it's just a rubber grommet underneath there that sits right on that. So next is installing the box. So this is a look at the box. We have the side cover here. That is just beautiful. Now here is the air filter. Clean as can be. I mean, it all looks brand new. Right down here, we're going to be adding a scoop that comes from the lower end, and then it'll also scoop air from the top end. It does seem like the factory box did the same thing as well. It had that little factory scoop, but this one just looks a little cooler, a little more aggressive. Probably, all does the same thing now. So something to note as well with this install is Once you get everything out of here, you're going to have to remove this little elbow from the harness. Undo this little clamp. I've just been sticking this rod down in here and then taking my flathead and kind of pushing down at the same time and just popping each one of these little clips out. All right, just like that, we've undone this little plastic harness cover. And we're just going to pull the wires out of here. So now we're playing with the little air scoop. Apparently, instead of facing the front of the car, this one faces the side. A little bit of a tricky way to get it down there, but I'll show you what it looks like once it's down there. Just gotta kind of finesse this thing right down in there. Got a little bit more stuff to move, but I think if we just keep wiggling this thing and kind of turning it, we'll get this bracket right where we need it to be. Alberto had the best install idea ever. He literally just put a pry bar between this and the metal and just kind of slid that plastic in there. We are all set to go. All right, guys, so we just removed a little O-ring from the factory fitting, and it's too big for this little adapter plate. So we have a 10mm nut and bolt we just got to tighten down, and this will go inside the big slot of the hose. So now with the air scoop in down there, I'm going to take the rubber hose, the smaller side closest towards the intake inlet, and we're going to start sliding this hose on. Now we just plugged in our fittings and hoses. We just got to tighten all these little clamps up, and I mean, that's real simple. I actually turned this sideways because if it was straight back and forth, it would have rubbed on this hose. So that's something you really want to be careful of, because obviously you don't want parts chafing against each other. It's going to do more harm than good. All right, guys, so we're going to start assembling the airbox assembly. And first things first, you have to plug in your MAF. Basically, we're going to run our wire, MAF, and the air filter into the box first, and then we're going to install this cover. And this cover has this little slit right back here for us to hide the wiring harness and run it into the box. So the MAF is now plugged into the intake, so we're going to feed this pipe through that side hole and then place our cover down. And like I said, you just want to run that wire right through that little slit. So now we're going to tighten up the outside cover. I mean, this box is just beautiful. Check this out, guys. We've gotten this hose clamp, and these two tightened down. Like I said, plenty of room back there. Just now, reach my hand down there. You're going to kind of lift up the box and push it down on a stud. It just kind of pushes in place. Now we got to tighten our bolt up here. There's a bolt on the side. It is a fast install. Alberto's tightening up the last 10mm for the other side. Fire. And it just looks beautiful in this car. All right, guys. Now we're gonna get the first new rev with the air intake, and we're gonna see how sick this is. All right, hit it. Woo! Give us another. Yo. Wow. Bro, that is crazy. What? That makes me happy. Wow. Wow, well, that was absolutely beautiful sounding. Hopefully, in the near future, we'll get some rolling clips for you guys so you can hear it. But that was just a quick install of what we had going on tonight. And pretty fun, pretty simple, quick little vid, and just small difference. But, dude, I bet you in the car it's going to sound insane. And we're about to go for our first ride with the new intake. Woo. All right, guys, we're going to hop in the FK8 Civic Type R. Gotta do one of these numbers, and we're good to go. So here's the. Oh, you hear that? Oh, dude, that's crazy. Oh, you hear it so much better. Just some small sound clips for you guys, but you can just hear the. It's so much louder. Oh. Even the intake. The driving, it just opens up a whole new world of just like the driving experience entirely. Oh. We are just out here having fun. But gonna get this little sound clip of the FK8 Type R. Wow, just listen, you can hear it, it's so loud. Well, all right, everybody, we've made it to this segment of the video. Parked outside the 7-Eleven right now. You know, car guy things, I guess. And pretty crazy, like the sound difference that intake alone made. I mean, that is it's a hefty cost intake for sure, but definitely worth it. But I guess that's going to do it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for checking it out. And if you want to see some more car content in the future, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. Listen to this thing.